Good morning, everyone. I was hoping to do this live, but things happen, so we're going to do this as a tape. Okay? So today I wanted to go over something I put together I'm very proud of, and I thought it would help counselors and teachers. And usually you see my face when I'm doing this, but I've been playing around with some graphics and thought maybe when I do these, it might be better if you could see it. That way you can screenshot the information if you want to jot it down. And if you really want these quick reference guides to go with the videos that I've been posting, then just shoot me an email, shoot me a comment, and I'll send it as a download that you can download yourself and keep for quick reference. So, today we're going to talk about 5 simple, fun strategies to help kids eliminate stress and anxiety. This is the season, the spring season, when we do a lot more testing, and kids, along with teachers, tend to get very stressed out. Test anxiety is real, and we need to know how we can help our students. And we're testing them from K to third grade, or having DIBELS testing. And then you got third through 12th grade who are doing LEAP testing or state testing wherever you at, STAR testing, LEAP testing, depending on the state that you're in. So let's go over this quick reference guide for you. So the first thing you might want to do is take a deep breath. Remind your students to take a deep breath in through their nose, hold for 2 seconds, breathe out through your mouth. This helps to calm the mind and the body. And again, teachers, counselors, staff, if you're using this, you could use this for yourself as well. But I also put a note down at the bottom that teachers can encourage students to do this before test, during a break, or even when class gets too busy. Sometimes we got a lot of things going on in class, and we might have that student that's super sensitive to class chaos, and they might need to take a little bit of time and take a deep breath. We can see that they're a little frustrated. We can see that they're a little bit overwhelmed and things like that. So allow them that little bit of time. Number 2, move that body. Move your body. Exercise is great. PE class, kids love that. Jumping jacks, stretches, dancing, running around on the playground. And I know not everybody has a recess. In our state, we have been required to add so many minutes of recess here in Louisiana, so that's a great thing. But teachers can offer brain breaks where students can get up and move. This will allow them to reset, be less stressed, and be ready for the rest of the day. When I taught school, I did brain breaks. We did a wibble and a wobble, and we'd get up and we just shake it all out. And I'd put on some music and a timer for 2 minutes, and we just wiggle and wobble and shake it out. And we'd get ready. There's also a technique called the push, pull, dangle, and I can always give that information to you as well. Number 3, talking about our feelings. Some of us come from a generation where we didn't do that. But as a school counselor, and over the years, I've learned this is a great technique for kids. Remind them that they can talk to a friend, a counselor, or a teacher, and sharing those feelings with others can help us feel less alone and understood. So when we're stressed and we have anxiety, we might feel like we're all alone. No one is doing this. I'm looking around in class. No one looks like me. No one's doing the same thing as me. But actually, there are quite a few people feeling the same thing, but they just don't know how to share that. So teachers or counselors can provide safe spaces or feeling circles where small groups or even individual students can share how they are feeling. And really, they just want to uh, be acknowledged, have their feelings acknowledged. Oh, yes, stress, it can be stressful. Yes, testing is stressful. Just breathe and share those other techniques with them. But validating their feelings is extremely important. Number 4, create a happy place. where you feel calm and safe, a quiet space with soft sounds and lights. In my counseling office, I always have the low lights and the soft music and the nice smells. But we can also, in my classroom, I did the same thing. Allow yourself to imagine being at the beach in a park, feeling a cool breeze, relaxed and stress free. And I also did this with my students as well before testing. When we breathe, we had the soft music and we did our wiggle and wobble and shake it out. And we also did this, especially after a PE before a test. Teachers can guide students to take a moment, close their eyes, and imagine their happy place. Soft music helps with this as well. It allows them to focus on their breathing, taking them to a nice place, cooling themselves down, especially if it's after a PE or a recess before we get started on the next content, especially in testing. Testing, we go from test, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, lunch, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. So we need this little bit of time to, okay, before we start the next test, let's do this. Okay. It's very worthwhile for the students as well as for us. And number 5, use a fidget toy. If you got squishy balls, spinners, poppets, sensory objects, these help release nervous energy. Now, I know there are a lot of teachers that are completely against the fidgets because they feel that it's a distraction, but it doesn't have to be big. The picture shows the bigger ones, but they have them on the keychains, they have them on their fingers, they have them where they just dangle from the backpack. So they are smaller versions of this. They can hook it to their belt loop, that they can do it without everyone in the class seeing them use it. Um, you can use them at their desk or in their classroom's calming area to manage stress and anxiety. So if you don't want them to have it on person, then have an area that they can go and use that toy to relieve the stress. Make sure there's a timer. You always have to have a timer when you're doing these activities because you don't want it to take up your whole class period, especially when it's testing and you know you're on a tight schedule. So you want to make sure that you have enough time to do these things without rushing. So you put on a timer for that to happen. Some other ways to use these in school. You can use these not just during testing. We come back from spring break, during our holiday breaks, we're all over the place. You can use it as a daily mindful routine. I've seen this, it's great. In a created specific quiet spaces, encourage open conversations with fun movement activities. So they can be used daily, not just for testing. Um, if you create your schedule at the beginning of the school year, and this is a great way to add into your schedule these few minutes between transitions so kids can settle down and get ready. Their mind is open, they're not as busy, and they're ready to get to work. By using these strategies, students can learn to handle stress and anxiety in a healthy way, making school a more positive experience. Who's going to want to go to school if it's going to be stressed, especially on testing week and testing months or testing season? If I know I'm going to school and it's testing day, but I know for sure we're going to have these activities going on, I'm going to be less stressed. I'm going to say, okay, my teacher has it. I know these strategies. I can do them myself without my teacher having to coax me. And just a little information, you can screenshot this if you want. These are my places of contact, the counselor for counselors. Again, I'm going to be putting a lot of these together to go with the videos I've already posted. If you would like them, please email me, the counselor for counselors at gmail.com. Find me on any of those other social platforms. Y'all have a great day, and I hope this helps. Bye.